What actually makes a chicken pot pie? Well, in the UK we don't really have pot pie, as we usually just have pastry all the way around whatever it is we're actually eating, and we call it a pie. But the pot pie has risen to popularity in the US, where usually you would just have a bowl filled with, well, a filling and topped with a pastry lid. And that's what we're going to do today. A beautifully creamy chicken filling topped with a puff pastry lid and baked in a cast iron pan. What's not to love? First things first, we have to make ourselves a chicken stock. So we're going to start with a whole chicken and quickly break it down. Start by opening up the leg and run a sharp knife through the skin to expose the underneath joint. Then you want to pull back the leg, and you should, with little difficulty, feel the joint pop out, and just use your knife to separate the leg from the body. Then do the same with the other side until you have two legs removed. Then flip it onto its front and hold onto the wing while you run your knife in a circle through the skin. You should be able to locate the joint and just pop it out too. Do the same on the other side. Then the easiest way is to hold onto the spine and find where the ribs fasten onto the breastplate, and you should be able to slice through the meat all the way to the head. And then when you manage to wrestle with it a bit, you just need to put a bit of pressure to break through the neck bone. Then with the breasts facing you, score down the middle until you hit the bone. Place the knife in the middle and just break through with a little bit of force. Then I added roughly chopped celery, carrots, and a whole head of garlic just sliced in half, a whole white onion roughly chopped too, then scattered over some thyme, drizzled with oil, and sprinkled with some salt and pepper. Now roast in the oven at about 220 degrees centigrade for about 25 minutes, or until all the chicken is cooked and nicely golden brown. Then transfer the spine, veg and juice to a pot and add the green tops of a leek. Top with water, splash with Worcester sauce, more thyme, bay leaves, and a secret and probably controversial ingredient here. I like to add a good spoonful of miso paste. It gives it that umami feel and really boosts the flavour. So we'll get it back on the hob, bring it to a boil, and then we're going to simmer it for 45 minutes. Now remove the chicken skin and tear off the chicken meat with a fork, and also add them extra bones to the broth, it's more flavour. Dice up an onion, peel and dice a carrot, bottom part of a leek, some celery, and some of the crispy chicken skin. Then heat up a skillet or any pan that you want to use. Just make sure it's a pan that you can put in the oven, and add a touch of oil. Then when it's hot, add in the onion and start to sweat it off. Then add in the leek and do the same. Then add in some garlic that I set aside after I roasted it on the tray for the stock, then the carrots and celery. Make sure you season it well with salt and pepper and cook everything out. Just checking on the simmering stock now, take a ladle and try to skim off any impurities that rise to the top. And back to the other pan, add about 500 grams of torn up chicken and some more thyme. I must really like thyme in this one. If you see that it's starting to catch on the bottom, you can always add a little bit of water to deglaze the pan, but you want to cook all this out until everything gets to know each other. Now to finish off the stock, we're just going to strain it off through a sieve. Then add about 2 tablespoons of flour and the chicken skin to the pan and give it a good mix until all the flour is cooked out a little bit. Then top the whole thing up with chicken stock, slowly stirring everything together and watching to get the right thickness of the sauce. Again, bring it to a gentle simmer and add a touch of cream. This will give a nice richness to the dish, and finally add some peas. Then once you're happy with the seasoning, turn off the heat and let the pie cool almost all the way, as if it's too hot, it will melt the buttery pastry before it has a chance to stick to the pan. So sprinkle over some flour on a surface and lay down your pastry. Start to tap it out into shape before rolling it out into about 1 centimetre thick. Then grab your now cooled pan, beat up an egg and brush all around the edge of the pan. Then lay over your pastry and gently press the pastry around the edges until you feel like it has stuck, and trim the excess. You can also run a fork around the edge to crimple the pastry. Make sure you make a few slices in the middle as steam holes, brush over some more egg, and place in the oven at 220 degrees centigrade for about 25 minutes, or until it's beautifully golden brown and looking nice and rustic like this. I mean, it looks like a proper country home-cooked chicken pot pie, right? And when you cut into this, you can feel the crispiness of the crust. Just look at how steamy it is. This was really incredible taste. That buttery pastry, the creamy chicken, and the hint of umami miso too made an amazing pie that I'm sure all the family will love. And it's come to be an American staple. So tap the like button, subscribe, do all that stuff. I'll see you in the next one, so just keep cooking.